So when I began this podcast, it was during the time of the 46th president of the United States. And now that the 47th president has been elected, I'm lucky enough to be joined by Agent 47 on here. So David Bateson, thanks so much for being here.
Hey,
Feels like the stars have aligned.
yeah, it took a while to get us to find a date and a time, but we made it. And Omar, I'd just like to take this opportunity to say thank you for your patience and your persistence, because um, I'm quite busy a lot of the time, and it's hard to pin me down, which is sometimes.
Yeah.
You hit me in a busy time.
Well, hey, I really appreciate it. I'm honestly honored to have you on here. The Hitman games have really
Yeah.
shaped a lot of me. Like this is my favorite game of all time, probably. Hitman
Oh,
Absolution.
yeah.
Man,
You know,
that was. I remember coming home from school and playing that and just all the memories I made, specifically with that one, but also the others. And
yeah.
I mean, that's just so cool.
How 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 old were you when you started playing that one? Was that your first one? Right.
That was my first one. And
Yeah.
I want to say 15, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, legally you should have been 15.
Right?
But,
Legally.
I mean, no, I'm curious because it is actually often the first game that has the most lasting impression.
Yeah.
Um, and some people I say they go, "Oh, we hooked up back in Silent Assassin or Codename 47." But over the years, I asked that question back to the interviewer because it's often the first game that really blows people away and leaves such a strong impression. And I know Blood Money is considered you know a top contender for best game.
Yeah.
But I will probably come to that. But I think this last trilogy of the Hitman World of Assassination series has taken it up a big notch.
Yeah. It's
So
been huge.
I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, as am I. You know, it's interesting that the character is named Agent 47 because that's also the atomic number of silver. And then,
Oh,
his
I didn't know
iconic
that.
silver ballers. Yeah. So, do
Ah,
you know why they named him Agent 47? Was that the reason behind it? Or,
I no, I don't know, but that would make sense. The silver ballers in 47,
yeah.
but no, actually, I don't know. And believe it or not, much as my wife wants me to get tattooed with a barcode in the back of my head, and I have an open bet with the British Academy of Film and TV, BAFTA, and also with Voice Arts Awards in in the States. I said, if I pick up a prize for the voice of Agent 47, I will get a live stream tattooed session for charity of the barcode on the back of my head. But the point being is, my wife has also said over the years, come on, you've been nominated, let's go and get a tattoo. And get 47 tattooed on your body. At least you can do yourself that favor. I'm still tattoo free, but I don't know how long I can hold out.
Wow. I mean, having that tattoo on the back of your skull, I imagine
Yeah,
that must hurt, huh?
uh, yeah. Funny enough, I was in Sudbury, Canada, in
Hmm.
April this year at a gaming convention, um, which was a lot of fun, as they always are. And the main sponsor was a tattoo parlor, you know.
Hmm.
And he was such a cool guy, and his whole body, of course, was covered in tattoos. I said, "Dave, I'll do you for free, man. Just say the word." And I went, oh, okay." And he said, "Oh, on the head? Man, that's gonna hurt." And I went,
Yeah.
"Really?" He said, "Yeah, because it's just straight onto the skull. There's no flesh there to ease the pain." So maybe I'm doing it as a live feed streaming, thing. I'll be like, I'll be such a wuss and again. Ah, oh no, oh fine.
That'd be quite the event. I'm
Uh,
curious. You and Agent 47 bear a resemblance, but was that purely coincidence, or over time that's something that was more
yeah,
deliberate?
no, it is initially a coincidence. I mean, I got the role. I mean, they saw a lot of people. I don't know how many, um, but I was just by chance in a studio when doing something else, a studio in Copenhagen, sound studio, recording some corporate thing, and but that studio had a big audiovisual department, and they were doing the graphics for the very first game, and they actually, one of the engineers walked into my studio, sound studio, interrupted my session, and said, "Hey, Dave, what are you doing after this voiceover session?" I went, "Nothing." So could you just give us 5 minutes and come and check this out? And I went, "Oh, okay." And so when I went to look at the sequence they were working on from the very first game, obviously there was this bald guy, and I went, "Whoa, well, what are the chances? He looks a bit like me." Oh, in fact, he looks a lot like me. Um, uh, and so no, so the character was always, I don't know, he was there first, I guess. But
Mhm.
since then they've motion captured me, or performance captured, they call it now, for face. My face in great detail, and so they've adjusted his face so it has elements of me. It's around the eyes, the mouth, the nose. They've kept long and straight. I don't have quite a strong nose as he does, but yeah. So now we look even more like each other.
They say all art is autobiography. Now, of course, you didn't create the franchise, but you are definitely the figurehead of it.
Yeah,
What part of it is there any part of Agent 47 that is you that maybe the writers
yeah,
connected?
yeah. Well, there's two answers to this question, and here's the thing: this first part of the answer is, I can't believe I've not said this before. Um, I mean, many years ago, but it is a part of me because when I was at university, I signed up to do the stunts for the first semester of uni. And that was on my third year. That was my third year. But I thought there's this thing called RAG. I don't know, you have it in the States. The first semester, 12 weeks, 14 weeks, it culminates with RAG week. RAG is how can we raise money for charity? And I said, listen, I'm in my third year in the drama department, and I'll do anything. I said, I like to be in charge of your stunts, and so I was. So I had to come up and think of all crazy stuff to do. And some of the stuff was pretty out there. But here's the thing: I forgot in the last 1,000 years since I graduated that I came up with the most iconic, crazy idea, which turned the campus of 25,000 students into living in fear. Because I started Hitman. You could come to the RAG office, and I would sit there and I would say, listen, it's not me, but I'm just taking the bookings. Um, who do you want the RAG Hitman to hit? And they say, listen, could you hit my best friend in a sociology class? There's like 400 students in there. Could you come in and just zap him in the face with a pie? I did this like big sort of shaving cream pies with a paper plate cut so it was coned a bit so it wouldn't hurt the nose. But I just filled it, and I'd be dressed in black with a black balaclava, so they had no idea who the hitman was. And I started this thing, and it went mental. I had the deans of the faculties contacting me, the chancellor of the university, some of the senior lecturers, because they were worried that, hey, what if my whole class of 400 people or 300 people, whatever, chipped in and got me zapped with a big pie in the middle of a lecture? There's a lot of money to be made on such a hit. Tell me about it. And I had to say, oh, okay, because they were genuine. The university was running scared for 12, 14 weeks. And I hit everyone. They got so sophisticated, these hits. Sometimes I'd hide in a cupboard for 1.5 hours in a lecture room behind the lecturer. So, and the only way I could do that is because I thought, I've got to be there before the class starts. So I'll get into the cupboard, then I'll change, and I'll wait for 1.5 hours.
Wow.
So everyone has had time to forget that I was, that there's no way the hitman could come into this room. The doors are locked and whatever. I was already there.
Man.
And then, and I wouldn't, I wouldn't necessarily know who I was going to hit. I just know that the person who booked me would be sitting down, and the person to his right, I'm going to hit. I don't give a shit who it is. Man, woman, child, you're going down. And so anyway, this went on for 12, 14 weeks, and it really got hectic because they were, some of the students wanted to beat up the hitman. I mean, as payback, because they just had their ass wiped in the middle of a class, or walking down in the refectory, or in the toilets. I mean, I'd hit you anywhere. I didn't give a shit. And so it really struck fear into them. There was nowhere that could be safe. You could be walking down a corridor. You could be, changing, in the changing rooms after basketball or something. I just get you. And I adjusted the price for these hits according to the difficulty. And then because there was this movement to beat up the hitman, as this kind of revenge thing, I don't know why. I had to have decoys. I had to actually have other guys who looked like me physically and could run very, very fast, who, when I'd do a hit, suddenly there'd be like 3 or 4 hitmen running out in different directions and just running off. So everyone going, shit, who's the guy? Damn. Or on 1 or 2 occasions, to kind of take the heat off me personally, I'd have to have a decoy hitman do the hit. So I would be seen eating my lunch innocently, and then some guy would come in dressed in black and go, and take out. And I told it was not me. And then, of course, but I think I only did that twice because I really enjoyed the hits. So that's the one-off.
Wow.
So the point is, it's been in my nature. It's in my bloody genes or my chromosomes or DNA or something. I should have been a hitman, because I made a fortune, by the way, a fortune, all for charity. I even hit, oh damn it, I even hit a girl I was dating. Oh, that was so cruel. She didn't know it was me. She had her suspicions, and I said, well, I take the bookings, but it's not me. So, and she said to me, you wouldn't hit me, would you? I mean, no. I lied, and I whacked her. And it didn't end well for us anyway. C'est la guerre. The other side of the coin is the character of Hitman. Many years ago, I mean, really a long time ago, my sister, I've never told anyone this publicly. I've told friends of mine this. My sister, who, by the way, lives in Atlanta, Georgia, she wanted to go to a clairvoyant, or I think it was a clairvoyant. And I went, oh, and she said, David, will you come with me? Oh, I went, okay. Oh, okay, so I'll just wait outside. You go in and do your thing. And then we get there, and she goes, I won't do it if you don't do it. I went, what? That's not the deal. That's not what we agreed to. So I did. So I walked in and went, hi, I'm not my sister. I'm the brother. And she's waiting outside. So can you do what you do with me? Mm. Anyway, this lovely person, she said, I'm going to see things around you. By the way, I have no opinion as to as to this kind of stuff. But I don't disrespect it either. I just have no opinion. The point being is, she said, I'm going to see people and things around you as I talk to you. And all I'm going to do is interpret these things from years of experience. Like when we're talking about career, I will see a ladder. And the state of that ladder and the distance between the steps and the height of the ladder. I'm going to interpret in terms of career that you're going to have a long career or it's going to be difficult. But one of the things she said very, very, very strongly whilst we're talking away, and she's kind of just seeing things apparently. She says, there's an actor standing behind you, a British actor called Martin Shaw, and he did a TV series, a bit like Starsky and Hutch, the British version of Starsky and Hutch. What are they called? Not the Persuaders, just two tough guys, Private Eyes or something like that. But he was really, really tough and had a very cold face. And she said, and this woman said to me, she said, well, all I can do is, in relation to the fact that it's him and he's standing really close to you, I'm interpreting this as being he's either going to personally help you in your career, or maybe you're going to play a part very much like him. And I went, what? Okay, thanks. That was a big help. Waiting for my sister, get in here. But now years go by and I went, wait a minute, because I never met the guy and he's never had any effect on my career. But Hitman is the same character.
Mm.
It's the same guy, same kind of, and the same totally stone-faced look, with a 1,000-yard stare. And so I don't know what to make of all that, but here I am, 25 years later, still playing
Yeah.
Hitman.
I mean, you have such a unique experience in that as well. And you are one of the iconic few in the world who people say that person was born to play that role. Do you believe that
Yeah,
kind of a thing?
yeah, I actually do. It's a weird one. Yeah, I do. And as an actor, trust me, every actor will identify with this statement. We all believe that we can play all sorts of roles, and we do. And there are occasions when you see something on TV or on a big screen, you're going, "Shit, man, I could have nailed that," but you're not. It's someone else doing it very, very well instead of you. And that's just the luck of the draw. Acting has got nothing to do with fairness. It's just being in the right place at the right time. I remember I went to a master class on film acting with Michael Caine, British actor,
Mm.
and he said something, and he wrote this. It was a heading in a chapter of his autobiography. He said, "The 2 minutes that changed my life," and he's just having lunch or dinner in a restaurant in Chelsea in London. And at the next table is some big producer. And it just says, hey, calls him over. He goes, excuse me, lads, I'm going to go and talk to this guy. And it has a brief conversation, which led to him getting an audition for a new film, which he got, and it launched his career, and the rest is history. So there are parts which, if you get them and you're right for the part, and there can be an extra element of going, wow, you completely nailed that in the audition. You are that part. And there could be other times when uh, you don't think you're right for a part and you just audition and they go, oh yeah, you weren't right for the part, but we never thought of it the way you did it. That's actually also interesting. And you could still get the part. So yeah, I mean, I hope I'm not born to kill people in real life for a living. Although there's a few people I'd like to go away. Um, but you know, it's a luck of the draw. So now the second part is I can see a part of me in Agent 47. I like his coldness, but as you can see, I'm not that cold, and I don't kill people for a living. Only kill them in my mind. But so yeah, I think we're meant to be. I look upon Agent 47 as my, seriously, this sounds so weird, as one of my very best friends.
Mm.
Which is a slightly weird thing. You know, I'd love to go and shoot pool and drink a beer with him. So, how was your day? Oh, don't ask. You know? But yeah, I look
Yeah.
upon him as a really good friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you feel proud of your work. You embrace that character, would you say?
So that again, I didn't quite hear you. You dropped out.
Are you proud of your work being Agent
Oh,
47? Because
yeah,
I know
yeah.
there's like for example, uh one of my favorite films is Troy, and Brad Pitt, I feel like he had a phenomenal performance as
Oh,
Achilles. I
jeez,
would say he was born to play that
jeez.
role. But here's the interesting thing. He never wanted to do that. He just kind of got forced into doing it, and he's not really proud of his work in that. It's not, he doesn't, he'd rather
Really?
not have done that, which is so interesting to me because it's like he was born to play that role. And so I wonder with you, do you embrace that? Like, yes, I was born to play this role and I embrace it. I'm proud of it. I wanted to do this.
Yeah. I mean, there's a yes and a no this in this question because I'm deeply fascinated by guns. I do, but I have a crazy respect for them as well. You know,
Mhm.
I don't want to be in the same building as a gun, um, which is kind of weird. Because oh, I'd love to go. I just first time I was ever in the States, first day I went to I was in Duluth in Georgia, and I had to go and buy some tent pegs. So I went. My sister said, "I'll take you to this. I think it's called North Point, the second biggest shopping mall in America."
Mm.
And in and this one shop, camping shop, was this. I mean, the size of an airplane hangar. What the? And I'm looking. All I'm looking is for pegs, and I'm walking down, and I get to the back of the store, which is like seriously about 80, 90 meters, maybe 100 meters. Yeah, it was massive, wide. And the whole back wall were guns. It was the guns and ammunition stuff. And I went, whoa, whoa. Oh, I want to hold every single thing here. And I got into this great conversation. I was allowed to hold these handguns and the rifles and the Uzi, I mean, AK-40s, everything. And because they fascinate me. But but man, you could. I don't want to kill anyone, you know. And I think it's already someone's like there's an 80% chance if you have a gun that you're going to use the gun on yourself, because not every day is going to be a good day. Um, then you might use it on someone who's breaking into your property. But yeah, I don't want to kill people for a living. Um, so yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. And the other side of the coin is that I love being a part, and I'm very proud of being a part of this Hitman franchise and playing, fleshing out this role of Agent 47, which I think I've managed to bring a lot to. a lot of that kind of very dark humor and irony, and but I don't want to. I'd hate it if people going, well, I just killed my whole school today because I was inspired by Agent 47. You know, that's not even funny saying that sentence. So, yeah, it's a game, right?
It's a
It's a
game,
game.
yeah. When we're young, we're told the story of the world. And then when we
Yeah,
grow up, we get to become a part of it. And in
yeah,
your case, I mean, you've quite literally had an effect on the culture globally. I mean,
you know
it's
what?
very iconic. How do you feel about that? Like, for example, in the
Yeah,
beginning when I told you I'd come home from school playing the game and it'd just be such an exciting
yeah.
thing that would shape the memories in my life. I mean, do
You
you
know,
think about that, how it's changed people's lives?
oh my, that's a really cool question. I'll tell you why. When you see a film, it lasts an hour and a half. When you play a memorable computer game, whatever it is, you could spend your entire childhood playing it. You know, I mean, that's a long time. You're doing the levels. You're buying the next game. You're repeating the levels. You're trying to get better at it. You want to get the silent assassin. You want to get the better score. Hitman is insane because you can do hits in so many different ways. It's challenging. It does not let you off the hook. Um, and so you spend a lot of time with Agent 47 in your room by yourself or with your friends, you know. So I totally get it. And that's one of the reasons I truly love going to the to Comic Cons and to gaming conventions, because I love meeting dedicated fans of Agent 47 and Hitman, because I know they are. I know they have spent, you know, years in very formative years as well in their youth, uh, playing this game and getting to know me and hearing these lines that I'm saying and the comments. And shit, man, I have the biggest respect for that. So I totally get it. And this year, when BAFTA, the British Actors and Film Academy, did a world survey on what is the most iconic computer game character ever made since day one, Agent 47 got third place. That's insane. I totally get Lara Croft. I mean, I'm a 14-year-old guy and I see a girl running around with nice legs and wearing hot pants. And yeah, I'll be rooting for her all the way. Um, but and of course, Mario Brothers is a no-brainer. But man, to come in third place,
It's a big
that's
deal.
it really blew away the makers of the game, IO Interactive. It made them
Yeah.
kind of sit up and look at each other and go, "Did we just do that? Wow, that's 25. That's a quarter of a century of gaming, and we're number 3 in the world with this character." So yeah, I'm proud to be associated with it. You know, not to go out and kill people for a living, but to be associated with an iconic character as Agent 47.
Yeah. And once again, that's such a unique position.
Yeah.
Because you're in that, do you feel fulfilled or there's still more to look ahead to?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't. I'm gonna have. I can't comment much about that. But yeah. This stuff coming up.
Do you have a favorite Hitman game?
Yeah. Yeah. It's good you say that. There is there's one of my favorite levels from the early games was, I believe, from Silent Assassin, and we're in St. Petersburg. And I don't know why it was all this kind of crunching snow and these granite buildings in St. Petersburg in Russia. It it just was haunting. and with Jesper Kid's amazing score in the background. That for me had a very, very kind of. It reminded me of what was the film? The 39 Steps
Mm.
with Orson Welles, set in, I think it was post-war Vienna. It had the streets were empty and everything was kind of dangerous and suspicious and full of hidden danger, I suppose. And it felt lonely and it was just amazing. So that is the one level. Then, of course, I'm blown away by Blood Money, which went up a massive notch. And then in the later games, in the trilogy, the last trilogy, Hitman 1, 2, and 3, those have taken, for me, Hitman 2 on a completely another level. And I adore Sapienza from.
Yeah,
I love actually the Paris level as well, the opening level. But
that's a really good level.
the Sapienza one is, sometimes when I've played Sapienza, I I go and I'm obviously Agent 47 and I know what's out there, and I go, you know what? I'm gonna go and have a coffee. I'm gonna go for a walk. This is such a cool town.
Yes.
It's based on one of these 5 towns on the west coast of Italy, the Cinque
Yeah.
Terre towns. So, because I can almost feel the attention to detail is amazing. You can feel the heat on the stone of the buildings and the coolness when you go into into the shade. And then by the time we got to the third level, the third game, the last game of the 3, it had come kind of full story arc from Hitman 1 to Hitman 3, or Hitman 5 to Hitman 8, or whatever it's called. I don't know, something like that. That if you'd been a part of this journey from the beginning, you really, really appreciated that last game in a way which you could never explain to your parents or to someone who
Yeah.
has no connection with you. And you don't understand, Agent 46 was like his best buddy way back when they were created in Romania. And there's this moment where they're in the car together and they're going on a mission together. Or even in the last game, when Diana Burnwood is in South America, in Buenos Aires or wherever it is, and she's in the field with Agent 47. And man, that just there's such kind of resonance of memories and experiences all wrapped up. It becomes a very personal journey for the family of Hitman players.
It really
As to,
does.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot I could talk about levels for a long time. I have favorite moments and I have favorite levels, but my
Yeah.
favorite kind of hit, by the way, is is an inanimate object. Like I love it when a chandelier or a big statue falls on someone. It's just like get out of that. It's just I don't. I like the humor of it.
Yeah. I One of my favorite levels in Absolution was
Yeah. Well,
the town
yeah.
of Hope. I don't know if you remember that one, but it was really cool. When you take out Lenny's gang in the whole
Oh
town.
yeah.
That was so fun.
Oh
That to me was
really?
so I love that. Yeah. And
Well,
then
here's the thing with Absolution. It's one of my favorite games because it was one of my favorite games to record. It had a very filmic script. It felt like Leon, Jean Reno in that film Leon, where he finds he's a hitman and suddenly finds himself having to look after this girl, and he's got no information in this area. What the hell, And it was a very personal kind of story. I know that a complaint of Absolution was it wasn't this sort of huge open sandbox, which Blood Money was before that. But I thought it was extremely filmic, and as a voice actor, the script was was really challenging. You know, I got to do some serious acting in that stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, the stuff about I've got to kill my own boss and Diana Burnwood, who, you know, spoiler, doesn't actually
Yeah.
die. But there was a lot going on for me as an actor, according to that one. But, so yeah, I know the hits you're talking about. They were so cool.
They were. And I remember as a kid seeing the sort of promotion because when that game came out,
Yeah.
it was a big time in the gaming world. There's a lot of great titles coming out, and it just happened to be another amazing one. And it was, I think, what I like about it most compared to the other games, although those are also phenomenal, is that it's so much Americana. I mean, it's literally
Yeah,
just America, and that's just so interesting to see
yeah, it
Agent
was.
47 operate in that field alone.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that must have been. I never thought of it like that. But yeah, yeah. Maybe that's why it also felt filmic because when you see, you know, I don't know because you live there, but when you visit from Europe or anywhere else on the planet, and you go to America, it just feels like it's a film. Everything feels
Mm.
like it's a film. And you, oh, wow, Las Vegas, that's a film. I saw that. Oh, I remember this thing. Or you know, wherever you go, you know, it's in the middle of the desert, or of course, you know, a place like New York. Oh, um, it's you guys invented film. You know, you the best films in the world, the biggest films in the world, have been made there. Most of them. So yeah,
Yeah.
it did. It was an Americana. You're right.
In the new trilogy, my favorite level is probably Hokkaido. And I'm wondering,
Oh, really?
have the creators ever sent you to any of these locations in real life? Like, hey, David,
Yeah.
go
Tell me
enjoy,
about it.
go enjoy.
I keep suggesting it every time. My voice would sound so much better in Sapienza. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Japan this time of year is perfect for the voice. It
Oh my God.
would be nice.
Is
No,
there a place where you would want them, or a level that you'd like, a city or a town that maybe someday in the future?
that's not been there, or that I would go back to.
Probably not been there yet.
Oh yeah, that's a toughie. Um, ooh, well, Copenhagen.
Copenhagen.
I tell you why. It could easily also just be a place like Amsterdam, but I know we've done you know Paris, which is a kind of a no-brainer. Of course, you go to Paris. I've actually also suggested London in the past. In the past. Oh, sorry, I just want to. Because they've not done London either. But this. Mm, maybe it would be too close for them. Maybe they think it'd be like, oh, we live here, nothing happens here. Oh. But I have I had a very interesting time when I first came to Denmark as this visiting actor. And again, I have no explanation about this. It felt very, very, very strongly like I'd been there before, and I haven't. I haven't been there before, and there's something there's something that kind of haunts me about that. That to do a level in a kind of old city, which you can almost feel the history of it, and it could easily be an Italian city. It could be Rome, you know, and it doesn't have to have links to the mafia, or it just could be good Italian values. Or so. I don't know. There's something I'd like to see done. I mean, Hokkaido. I really loved Hokkaido. I loved it for the darkness and the shadow, the neon lights, and the kind of almost Blade Runner feel to it in some places.
I've heard
Um,
you talk about Blade Runner before as well. What is
yeah,
your
well,
fascination with that? With that
yeah, that's a.
world?
I mean, yeah, I have said this. I've heard many times before. But, it's my favorite film,
Hmm.
um, and I just I just love all that. And again, it reminds me a bit like that 39 Steps film and like the level in St. Petersburg. It's something spooky and really cool about sort of shadows and reflections and water and things not looking as good as they could do. You know, it's just weird because as I say, one of my favorite levels is Sapienza, which is the opposite. It couldn't be more opposite. You know, you're going there for a holiday. Who's going to die? Not me. But this, I'm open to being kind of spooked, but I
Tobias
yeah,
Reaper.
yeah, you got me going there. That's I'm gonna have to think about that. Where would I like to most? Yeah.
For me, I'd love if they.
Where would you give come with a suggestion? Maybe I could run it by the guys at Idaho.
I think if they did Istanbul, Seattle, Oslo, or Sydney, I think those would be fantastic places for an Agent 47 level.
Oslo.
Oslo,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oslo could be fun. There's all those kind of fjords and inlets. And actually, the Stockholm, outside Stockholm and Stockholm in Sweden, because they've got the Stockholm archipelago, which is loads of these like islands, just with single houses on them, or 3 or 4 houses, or maybe it's like a bigger island with 300 houses or something. But it's just like it feels almost kind of like Louisiana or somewhere down the bottom of the Mississippi Delta, but with rocks instead of sand, islands, and kind of spooky. Yeah, I got really spooked many years ago in Tennessee,
Really?
and I don't know why. We were driving around the States for 3 months. I did 27,000 kilometers, nearly 19,000 miles in 3 months in a rental. Starting in Atlanta, Georgia, and going all the way up to Alaska,
Oh my God.
and then down to San Diego, and then across New Mexico, and then the Texas, that place, and then back to. So we got to New Orleans. And we go, okay, listen, we're within striking distance of Atlanta. Let's head off, and we'll take a last camping site in Tennessee, and then wake up in the morning and refresh for the last sort of 8 hours to Atlanta, Georgia. Um, and we got to this place at night time, and the gates were closed to this camping site. The locks closed because it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I went, okay, I get it. All right, well, we're just going to pitch our tent right outside. There's a lawn there. We're just going to, yeah, we can crash there. So I crossed the road and I went to this gas station and I saw this guy behind the counter looking really nervous, like he's been held up at gunpoint 5 times that week already. He's oh, can I help you? And I went, whoa, jeez, man, this seat does not look happy. So I got spooked by that. When I went back to my girlfriend, who was like starting to get the tent out and just put these. We're going to build this little nylon tent in the middle of nowhere outside. There's a reason why they've locked this 12-foot fence from the outside world, and we're going to just crawl into our little nylon 4-man tent outside. Yeah, this will end well. And I went, darling, I think you know what? I'm feeling quite fresh. I'm wide awake. I think we should just go. I should just take the last. You should what? Aren't you tired? I mean, we've been driving forever. You sat back in New Orleans, and I went, no. I think I'm good. I'm good. And I didn't want to spook her about it because I just felt it was my own imagination. But I felt it was like I just wanted to get out of Dodge and just get out of town and out of Tennessee. I don't know what Tennessee is really like. I've only ever seen it in the dark, but maybe you can tell me. But yeah. So yeah, that I think I need a second opinion on Tennessee. I'm sure it's a great
I
place.
gotta say, I've never been to Tennessee, but
Okay.
it does look like a very nice place, I mean, it's where Elvis is from, so
I tell you what struck me was Canada was amazing. I mean, I only went up the west coast, the Alaskan Highway, which is endless. I think it takes
yeah.
like 3 or 4 days because it's got all this permafrost and always tarmacking and leaving it. And and suddenly you go, oh, there's a bear, and then we, like dumbass tourists, we pull over and get out of the car because there's a big mama bear with two cubs. Oh no, this is going to end well. And there's my girlfriend with a camera going, and I'm going, darling, I think the food chain is just inverted now. Because right now we are meals on wheels. And we've not seen a truck or a car all day. And there's Mama Bear there that's going to rip your arm off and beat you about the head with the wet end. Get back in the car. And the whole Alaskan experience was interesting because it had that. It feels like you're on the end of the edge of the world, looking out over the edge. Going, whoa, who owns this place? And I remember I was in a seaplane. We were going to go king salmon fishing up the Yukon. We take this plane from Darlington and we go for like, I don't know, 3 hours, man, forever. And we're flying over the Yukon. And I'm sitting next to the pilot. And after like an hour, hour and a half, whatever, I go, hey, there are no roads. And the pilot just goes, I go, whoa, 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 whoa. What's so funny about that? I said, hey, man, there's no one here. And what he was trying to say is, you dumbass tourist from Europe, there's only 500,000 people in the whole of Alaska. If you leave the cities and towns and you want that hill, it's yours. Just we'll talk again in the spring when you've had 30 foot of snow on your head. See how you like it. But it was a kind of very pure experience of what it means to be alive, because it was kind of survival, in so many ways. So yeah, what is amazing about the whole North American experience is that every European should experience it, because we can't understand why like a third of Americans don't even have a passport. I don't know what the statistic is now, but I read that somewhere many years ago. But the point is, you don't live in a country, you live on a continent.
Yeah.
It's insane that you can even call yourself one country, because you couldn't. There's thousands and thousands of miles from one type of people in New Orleans to the guys up in Oregon, or even further up in Alaska or wherever. It's mind bending. You don't need a passport. Your
Yeah.
country is the world. Duh.
Man, we have so many different pockets of culture.
Yeah. I mean, what
It's
about you? Have
it's
you seen a lot of America? Have you
I
been
say a
around?
fair bit. And my favorite part, we discussed this before, was PNW, Pacific Northwest. So like Seattle, Washington
Yeah.
State. I love that area. I love
Yeah.
California. Chicago is really nice. There's so
Yeah.
many parts. It's cool, and
I was
so many different
amazed by
experiences.
Oregon. Oregon is empty. Oregon blew me away. Just driving down from Vancouver until you get to California, I'm going, man, this place is deserted. Where is everyone? I thought we're heading towards California, the most populous state in the States. It's like 33 million or something. I mean, that's like, it's, you're the size of France or something, and half the population. It's insane. That's not, it's not big, but it's big. But the point is, all these people. But north of Northern California, no one. I mean, man, it's you can really very quickly feel extremely alone in the States, because you are.
Yeah, I
It's
mean
a
it's
mind.
huge.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, David, I just had a few closing questions to ask you real quick.
Wow.
Well, the first one was, if there was any movie or other video game universe that you could be a part of, which one would it be? Why?
Ooh. Um, well, I must say, I don't know how I could be a part of it, but Jane Perry, who plays Diana Burnwood, uh, she won the BAFTA award for Best Performer in a Finnish computer game called Returnal
Mhm.
a couple of years ago. I was her chaperone at the BAFTAs. Did the whole evening with her. And that game really intrigued me. And again, it's not, it kind of makes sense. It has a kind of a Matrix feel to it. Maybe I'd like to be, that's another game. I'd like to be a game of Matrix. I
Mm.
want to be in Matrix. Well, of course, I'd love to be in the Blade Runner game. That's a
That leads
no-brainer.
me to ask you actually
Yeah.
a fist fight between Agent 47, John Wick, and James Bond. Who would win?
Oh, if it's only fists, I get my ass kicked probably. I would. John Wick. I mean, yeah. You know, I was here's I was this is true story. I was at one point being considered to be in a John Wick movie,
Oh,
and I got all excited, and of course, it didn't happen. Um, and I also came close to the first Hitman movie when, sadly, tragically, Paul Walker was killed 3 months before shooting was about to begin, doing a stunt uh, in LA. And suddenly Luc Besson, who was the French producer who did Taxi and from the Leon film, um, he wanted, he said, hey, listen, why don't we spent 9 months in, what do you call it, doing pre-publicity about Agent 47. No one knows what he looks like because if you've seen him, you're dead. And so they spent all this time and money and effort making these little teaser trailers without showing anything to do with Agent 47, but talking about it. And he quite rightly thought, wait, no, this is a no-brainer. Let's get the guy in because he is the man, and he is a nobody in the film industry. But hey, let's see if he can act. And that was he really wanted me, but the producers, 20th Century, just went, nah, we're going to go with our guy from the Deadwood Cowboy TV series, Timothy Oliphant. And of course, they were looking for trilogy and the whole 9 yards. But I thought, whoa! I mean, aren't you even curious? I'll fly over. Give me 15 minutes of your time. Let's see if I can do something. But so it wasn't meant to be. So in terms of film, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's those kind of films or games would be this kind of a Matrix meets Blade Runner. Oh
yeah,
man, I'd love to be in that. I would never
yeah.
come out of that game if I was in it. I would just stay there.
A new IP. That'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
What kind of music would Agent 47 listen to? What would be his theme song?
yeah. Now I'm a little biased here because of Yes for Kids soundtracks for the early games, for which he won a BAFTA as best composer in a computer game. I
Amazing.
had a totally, I have full respect and I adore the music soundtracks of the later games. Don't get me wrong, but I can still listen to Yes for Kids music when I'm driving a car,
Mhm.
and not just from the Hitman franchise. I can actually chill to something from Warhammer or the Assassin's Creed for that matter. But
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah, I'm a sucker for my kind of music is Ed Sheeran. Oh, it just like blows my socks off. And I've just bought tickets to see Robbie Williams next
Mm.
summer. I saw him about 9, 10 years ago in Copenhagen when he came here. And what intrigued me was, I'm a Robbie Williams fan of music, but I'm not like a gung ho fan. But seeing the guy, experiencing this man live in a stadium with 46,000, no, there were more people. It was, yeah, I don't know how many, but it was a lot more. There's 46,000 seats, and then the whole field was full of people as well. Um, it felt like he was doing the concert just for you. And I have
Hmm.
no idea how he made me feel like that. It's just the way he kind of talked directly to the audience. So that was a combination of his music, but also apparently his personality, which kind of blew my socks off. Otherwise, if I'm in the car and I get nothing else, I'll slip into some Ed Sheeran tracks. And if I'm with my family, I'll I have 3 daughters. I don't have a chance. They're educating me in music. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and that's interesting. Um, it was funny the other day. I was just thinking about it, and I was like, if Agent 47 had a theme song, in my opinion, like what he'd listen to would be maybe like Iris by Goo Goo Dolls because of the
Oh
the
yeah,
concept behind the thing about how you want to feel more about what it's like to be a human.
yeah. Uh, there's something. There's something. I mean, I know now. My latest and biggest challenge has been for the last 2 years is artificial intelligence, AI. Because my voice, because it's been out there for so long, as Agent 47, and also 10 years doing all Lego commercials. Oh no, someone's at the door. Uh, I better get that. Can I get that?
Yeah, go for it,
Oh,
please.
one second. It's my daughter.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Um, no. So, uh, so my voice is out there, and unfortunately, it's been copied illegally a zillion times, which has created all sorts of issues for me, you know, economically, for that matter.
I've heard of this.
Um,
Yes.
but I'm intrigued by what AI's got in store for us. What's going to happen. But in a way, it's a bit like in computer games. The whole genre or the whole idea of computer games is that anything is possible, and I like that, because the power of the imagination. Uh, yeah, you can have every wildest fantasy realized in a computer game if it
Yeah.
comes out of your head. There's just no limits, which I'm intrigued by. But on the other side of the coin, I'm thinking, okay, guys, we gotta control this thing because it's running away with us. Um,
Yeah.
and it's definitely running away with my voice, unfortunately.
Man, you have a very iconic voice, and that's no secret. You've heard that many times. And I just
Yeah,
think that's so fantastic that
yeah. I mean, it's unfair. I mean, but you can hear it. I love Morgan Freeman's voice. I mean, Morgan Freeman could read the telephone directory, if anyone knows what a telephone directory is. um, and I'd still be interested. Just go, oh, really? Say that name again. Smith. You know, I just, yeah, some voices just kind of just stroke your ears and make you lean forward and listen to. So I sincerely hope I'm not done as a voice artist.
yeah, I sincerely hope too. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing what you've been able to accomplish. I was wondering, David, do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you felt like you wanted to say but you didn't get a chance to? Something on your mind that you
Yeah,
wanted to
well, as
express?
I say, I can't reveal anything um, about what the future holds, but I can just say that OI IO, duh, IO Interactive are very, very busy with some fantastic games in which are coming up. We have the James Bond franchise.
Yeah.
That's going to be absolutely insane. And then they're working on a fantasy computer game, which is back to your imagination. It's going to be like going to bend your head. And then, and of course, they're working on Hitman. So the future looks good. So stay tuned and to OI Interactive and see what they have to offer. But just generally speaking, I would like to say that computer games are just have endless possibilities, and that I want to see more of virtual reality. I know IO Interactive had touched on it with the Hitman franchise, but I think there's so much more to be done with that as a silent assassin in a virtual reality realm. Oh yeah, yeah. I'd never come back to the light if I had that.
Oh my God. Yeah. A good point. My brother Hamza, he's also a huge fan of the Hitman franchise. You mind giving him a shout out in the voice of Agent 47?
Yeah, what's your brother's name?
Hamza.
Hamza. What?
Humza. Hamza.
Hamza.
Yeah.
Hamza.
Yeah.
This is Agent 47. Hello, Hamza. I know where you live, so behave yourself and do everything that your brother says.
Thanks. I appreciate that. That's
No, no,
awesome.
no. My total pleasure. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
listen, I will say one shout out.
Uh-huh.
The 2nd of December,
Mhm.
Streamily.com. I'm doing together with Jane Perry, we're doing a Hitman live stream signing event, which
Oh.
anyone in the world can sign up for. And we've done them before, and they are such fun because if you go into streamily.com, search our names, and come up to our shop or window, you can choose the different photos we've got out there. And then you send in what you want to be written on your photo. And then on the day, it's a live stream, just love fest. It's just such cool. You can hear us. We can't hear you, but there is an open chat box. And we will live sign and write whatever you want on the photos of your choice, and then hold it up to the camera so you can see we've done it live whilst we're talking to you, and answer any questions that you if people want to write in on the chat box. And it is such fun. I mean, I can't even remember how many hours the last one lasted, but I'm cool. I'll go for hours and hours. Back to what I mentioned earlier, it is such fun to meet fans of the franchise of Hitman. Um, and if we can't quite do it in person, this is as closest as you will get to a live signing. So it's a lot of fun, even if you don't participate, just to sign in and listen in, because it's a lot of fun. But yeah, then I can recommend the 2nd of December. I don't know what, I think it's 11 o'clock Pacific Coast time. So I don't know what it is in Texas.
It'll be like one. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It's 7 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. Central European time. But that I can strongly recommend if people are watching this.
All
Check it out.
right. Cool. Thanks for putting that out there. Fate
Yeah,
is an interesting thing, and that I'd have Agent 47 on my podcast. That is just so
you
cool.
do.
So I'm honored. Thanks for being here. Yeah. I mean, I hope to see you someday in real life if you're ever in Texas or if I'm in Denmark.
Well, I mean, it's not seriously. I should have been there at the One Voice conference and award show in August, and I had a gig that clashed with it, so I had to pull out. But I want to attend the next one, and I may well be there as a guest speaker uh, or participant. So, and that'll be, I guess, the same time, August 2025. So yeah, seriously, I was already all signed up for it, and I had to pull out. So I'm hoping to make it next year. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, man, that'd be awesome.
yeah. And
But
if
yeah.
anyone's in Phoenix, Arizona, in April, that's where I'll be. It's around the corner for you guys.
Yeah, that is true. That is
About
true.
5 countries for us.
Yeah, yeah,
But listen, Omar, it's been a total pleasure. Thank you for a very pleasant chat. And again, thanks again for your patience and your persistence in
yeah. No,
hunting
thank
me
you.
down, getting a time.
I value your time, and I'm glad that I had a chance to speak to a cultural icon. So it's great.
Cool, man.
Mm.
Thanks. Oh, by the way, this is for a play I'm doing.
Well,
It's
hey, I
taking me.
love it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I. It's coming off in 8 days' time. But
I think
doing
you
this.
rock it both ways. So
Yeah, it's It's grown on my family. They're going, Dad, you look kind of cool. You look badass. I go, what? Nah, I'll get back to the age of 47 look. So 8, 9 days time when I finish doing this play, I'll be shaving it up.
cool,
Okay.
cool, cool.
But listen, thanks, Omar. I look forward to send me the details, and I'll hit it up on my sites for you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, but yeah, this was
And,
awesome. So that was it, and it was a good time. I value your time.
yeah,
Yeah, just happy that we got this to happen.
cool, man. Hey, and all the best with your future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Real quick, if you have a chance, if somebody did
what?
want to enter this field like you, do you have any tips for them?
Um, seriously, in the States, I would say SOVAS, Society of Voiceover uh, Artists, or they do they do this thing. What is it called? Uh, yeah, Voice Arts
Oh,
Award. Hey,
nice.
I won this in New York back in 2014. They're really, really good for promoting the industry of, uh, of voice artists in the States. So I would check them out, and I would also definitely check out One Voice,
Okay.
which is this conference I'll be coming to hopefully next August. There's the American franchise of One Voice. I think it's just onevoice.com. Because those events are insanely useful for people who want to start in the business. And you'll, on this, to end off on this note, you will discover something that you will never meet a group of more helpful people uh, than at a voice conference. Because I don't know what it is. They all take a happy pill or something. They're incredibly genuinely supportive of voiceover artists, of fellow voiceover artists. They really want to help you. And I did one in Atlanta about 10 years ago, and that blew me away. And I've been going to some of them ever since, because if you ever want to kind of have a vitamin B injection, boost your enthusiasm for the industry, and how do I sell myself better, and where can I do voice classes, and I want to concentrate on commercials, or I want to do documentaries, and there are courses out there both online and in person, and so much advice. What equipment I should buy, and how do I insulate my room, and get a studio set up. Just all in all, I can't praise those kind of conferences enough. So check them out. But maybe One Voice will be the closest near you guys next year. Um, and they're so helpful online. You check out their site, because I still use them, even for advice. on how much should I charge for a gig. I can go into a website and get all the help I need. Go, oh, right, okay, I didn't know that. And I know a lot, you know. So check it out.
Cool. I will take your word for it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, cool, man.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thanks for now,
Well,
hey?
I suppose until next time, eh?
Yeah, listen, it's been a real genuine pleasure.
Thank
And
you.
I look forward to
Likewise.
seeing you. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care, man.
You take care.
And you, man. Bye
Thank
for
you.
now. Bye.
Yep.